Nicole, you want to run the meeting? Jordan? Al?
Al, run the meeting.
Al, run the meeting?
No. Me too.
You gonna run the meeting for us?
Oh, do I want to run the meeting? You just gotta go
Okay,
through
I'll call it
the-
to order.
Good, see, thank you, Dan.
Good job.
Oh, we have to approve the agenda.
Yes.
Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay,
I'll second that.
all right. How about the minutes from the previous meeting? Sorry,
You're doing great.
anybody want to approve the minutes? Nobody wants to?
No, I'll approve the minutes.
Oh, okay. Second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Minutes are approved as read.
Jan, you probably should vote, Jan.
Oh, you want to hear me?
You probably should vote on it.
We probably should vote on it? Okay. Let's just vote on the approving of the agenda.
Aye.
Raise your hand. Your right hand. Okay. How about the minutes? Raise your right hand.
Aye.
Aren't you going to raise your hand? Oh, you don't vote. Okay.
Present.
Well, today you can.
Well, good news, Jan. Christy is joining, so she could take over.
Oh, good. Okay, Christie,
Getting
we're
Christie
on
on.
number 4.
She's getting on now.
So the gentleman who wanted.
Christy,
The vote is done.
can you hear us, Christy?
You know,
Yep. So we had Jan start the meeting for us. She approved the agenda, and they had approval of the agenda and approval of the minutes. So we can let you take over from there.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you, Jan.
You're welcome, Christie.
So next we're at the transit asset maintenance plan.
That is correct. So the transit asset maintenance plan is in your packet. This is something that was last approved in 2020, I believe. The state is going to do a rotation every 2 years of an on-site inspection of our transit assets, which is our buses, our tools, thing that is an asset to the DOT and to the city. So the DOT went through our asset maintenance plan, word by word, and they had us update and change some things. It was based off of their template that they provided to us. We just made it more of our own, so that way it pertains to Palace Transit more than just any other transit in the state. And on the back pages, we included our forms that we specifically use for our transit agency. So our checklists, correction forms, safety inspections, those are all now attached into the plan. So we would like approval, we recommend approval of this plan, so that way we can submit it to the DOT and have an updated and correct asset maintenance plan. It was very little changes we had to make.
I will make a motion to approve it.
Do you want to take a motion for approval or any questions about it?
Jan made a motion to approve.
Second it.
And that was Whitney.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
And we'll be having our on-site inspection on February 23rd with the state DOT.
New buses.
You ready for good news? These buses we ordered 2 years ago, well, finally, we should be receiving 2 18 and 2 buses in approximately 30 days. Yay, we're so,
Good news.
yes, our buses are in rough shape, and it's time, we need more buses. And then they said sometime in March, we should receive our 3rd bus, which is a 16 and 2 passenger. So our plan is, we were going to replace all 3 of our old buses with these 3 new buses. But because we are so incredibly busy and we need more vehicles, especially our spare bus ratio number is not very good right now, because we're utilizing lunch breaks to get an oil change. We don't have any spare buses. We're going to keep one of the buses and sell 2 of them instead of selling all 3.
How do you sell those? Do you just post them online?
So they have to go through city surplus. Well, first, actually, we submit it to the DOT, and then they see if there's another transit agency that can use them. However, the two that we're selling, one's extremely non-operational, and the other one, there's a bungee strap holding the air conditioner on. It's there, but it's a spare. So after the city declares them surplus, after the state says they can't utilize them, they will go on Purple Wave auction, and we'll sell them through the Purple Wave auction. And then we are currently working on advertisers. We already have one of the two, possibly two of the two new buses completely full for advertising. We've had a lot of people reach out to us about advertising on the buses. So that's great additional income for the program.
Anything else on that? Okay, we'll move on to transit at the legislature.
We had our transit day at the legislature in January, and that's what we did is we invited the legislators to have a meal at River City's Public Transit in their community room, and we talked to several legislators there. And then we went to the Capitol the next morning and gave out our annual bus cookies. And it's so funny because I'm the one who puts them on all the legislators' desk. And they like, oop, it's bus cookie day. They know about our bus cookies, so that's really nice. And then along with the cookies we put on the desk, we also included something we created this year. It's a transit provider's manual handbook. It's information from all the transit providers. And everybody did a 1 to 3 page spread about their transit agency. I'll put it on the camera so you can see what it is. This was given to each legislature, and we made some extra copies because we have people going to Washington, D.C. They're going to go out to D.C. and give these to the legislatures that we have out there, to Thune and Rounds, and, sorry, I'm trying to multitask and I can't do that very well, Thune, Rounds, and Dusty Johnson. So here's our page. I don't know if you guys can see. I'll show you this way. This is our page we did. And then the second page, just some highlights. What was in the Mitchell Republic, that we had some news articles in the Mitchell Republic. That's what we provided to them. Sorry, I don't have a copy for everyone. They only made enough copies to give to the legislatures and one for each agency. So that was helpful. The good news is, well, kind of good news. The governor included in her administrative budget request to give an increase of $231,000 of other fund expenditures authorities from the State Highway Fund for grants to nonprofit organizations, specifically South Dakota transit providers. And there's 13 transit providers. This $231,000 would be divided amongst, which is not much per transit, but it's better than nothing. So we take what we can get. And that would be used as our match for operating, administrative, preventative maintenance, bus facilities, planning. That's our match money that we need. And that's what this extra sheet I gave you gives those breakdowns.
Do they take any factors into that split of 231 to 13, or is it just an even split that makes all?
There is,
Here, whoever's talking.
oh,
That's Jordan.
Jordan was asking if there's any factors they take into splitting up that $231,000. And there is a formula they use for state funds, who gets what amount. One thing they look at is making sure we get all of our reports in on time. If you don't get your reports on time, the next year you don't get as much state funding. Make sure you get all your grant requests in on time, attending different trainings, being part of state organizations or federal or even local organizations. That's how you develop these certain points. That's why it's important that we get all of our stuff done in time right away. And they also base it on miles and ridership and that kind of stuff too. Because obviously some transit agencies are bigger than others.
Any other discussion on that? Palace Transit Funding Amendment.
In your packet is an amendment to our funding we just received for Palace Transit. This is our normal operating and administrative funding. I told the state what they gave us was not going to be enough because we are way busier than what we have been in the past. And they said, okay, and they sent us additional funding. They sent us an additional $66,142.27. And that's just for now. I think we'll need additional funding at the end of the year, but they said, we'll wait till the end of the year and see where you're at. And they said, if you want to ask, and I'm not afraid to ask. So if we need the money, we'll ask for it again. This funding amendment was approved by City Council on Monday.
Next is transit staffing.
So last time I reported that we hired both of our South Dakota retirement 30-hour positions. The one gentleman who took that position changed his mind. He didn't want to work that many hours. He's staying on as part-time, but not working the 30-hour positions. He's only working the 19-hour position. So we have that position open. We interviewed for it, and we made a conditional job offer. We're waiting for all that stuff. So hopefully we'll have our second part-time South Dakota retirement transit person starting. We also have another contingent offer on another part-time bus operator, another 19-hour one. And then we have 2 van drivers now. We're driving our minivan around just to help alleviate the rides. One has been working, he works on Saturdays, and hopefully we're going to start opening on Sundays again. He'll operate on Sundays as well. And that one is actually, he enjoys it so much, he's going to be getting his CDL as well. So he's been training and testing for that already, so that's exciting. And then the other one is just started training this week. I've been driving around with him training our second van driver.
That's good news.
Yes.
How many does your van hold?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Sorry, 6 we can fit in the bus. He asked how many people fit in the van, and we can fit 6.
Nutrition software.
You want to give update or you want me to start? Okay. Well, I'll give a start onto that. We received an email from the state. We've had to update a lot of information to our new software. And then a reprimand type email was sent out that only 2 agencies completed their information on time, and Amy was one. She completed the information for our agency on time, whereas the other agencies didn't. So kudos to Amy for getting it done on time. And I'll let her talk about it a little.
So the program is actually that we use is Capstone now, and it's a little different than the programs we've used in the past. And every year we are required to update all our clients in the system, and we have about 1,100 clients, so it takes a while. Well, part of the new program, which nobody told any of us, is you have to update the client's financial status, basically, if they're below the poverty rate, above the poverty rate. So that's what became the big challenge, because they only gave us a couple weeks to do that, and you had to go through every client to update it. So.
Well, good job.
You utilize Capstone at Life Plus? Oh, Therap, that's right. Yep.
We used to use Therap. We went from Therap to Capstone.
Do you like it?
Capstone's a lot better than Therap, yeah. More user-friendly.
So Amy was just saying that we used to use Therap, and she likes the Capstone better. It's a lot more user-friendly.
Any other comments, questions about that? Good job, Amy.
Thank you.
JDCC lighting.
So in our budget this year, we were approved to replace the lighting at the community center. What our issue was, light bulbs were going out, ballasts were going out, and finding replacement bulbs even for all of our lights at the community center is impossible because they're so old. They don't make those bulbs anymore. So we got it in the budget for this year, it was approved by council. So starting in January, we started the process to procure new lighting fixtures at the community center. We went through the procurement process that was approved by the state, and we received 3 bids, and it's for micro purchases, which are between $4,000 and $24,999. And our budget was $14,000, so that's why we went the micro purchase, which required just the 3 bids. Beshan Electric was our lowest bidder at $12,736.47. So he will start working on them hopefully next week, he was thinking. And the old bulbs, the ones that are working, they utilize them here at the Corn Palace as well, some of their old fixtures. What the Corn Palace has been doing is they've been replacing fixtures one at a time as they go out. And so when a ballast goes out, they put a brand new fixture on. So what we are going to do is they have bulbs that go out, but they don't have replacement bulbs, and the ballast is working. So we're going to save all of our working bulbs and give them to the Corn Palace. Saving money, John. Oh, sell them? Sell them, we're going to sell them to the Corn Palace.
Okay. Next up is department reports and updates.
First is adult nutrition. In your packet, you have the November and December nutrition results. Okay, November, December, or just December. December nutrition results, and it shows that far as our projection, we are up 722 meals, and we're actually up to last year too. So we're doing pretty good on nutrition. We did finally get our frozen meals caught up. We've had a couple trucks come in, so we're setting pretty good. We're out of just like one of them. Otherwise, we're doing pretty good on our frozen meals this time.
For once. Palace Transit, it's busy. I have no other words besides it's busy. The ridership report is in here for November and December. As you can see, our ridership is up compared to last year. Our miles are obviously up because last year we saved a lot of mileage. So now we're running pretty consistent because we've had Jackie in the office running the transit routes for a year. So that's why the ridership is up this year as compared to last year, because last year we saved a ton of miles. But if you look back 2 years ago, we're still giving considerably more rides and still less miles than what we were traveling. So she's made a huge difference on that. Unfortunately, we've had to make some tough decisions, and we've had to turn down rides because we're at max capacity. Right now at all schools, elementary, high school, middle school, we are no longer taking any more passengers because our buses are full. We currently send 3 buses to LBW because there's that many passengers. Every bus is just packed with students, youth transportation. We've also today, because our buses were just packed, at half the day yesterday when we were taking ride reservations, we are only taking employment, medical, and education rides. We didn't do any social rec ride reservations after, I believe it was noon yesterday. We just have to make decisions, and it's been a tough time making these decisions, but we just don't have the vehicles and we don't have the staff for the demand. The demand has just been crazy. We're averaging over 500 rides a day. It's a lot. It's good. It shows that it's needed in our public, but you can only do so much. That's another reason why we're keeping an extra vehicle. No, that's medical. So medical, employment, and education. Yep. Social rec is all we're not doing. So to shopping or,
Get your hair done.
yeah. We did have a lady call the other day, and I told the legislators this. She wanted a same-day ride because she wanted her hair done, and we couldn't fit it in. And the legislators thought I was a terrible person because I had to turn down this lady to get her hair done because that's important. But she did reschedule her hair appointment for the next day. We were able to get her in.
There was one yesterday upset too.
Oh, see, we have a lot of upset because we just can't fit them in. It's just,
Couldn't get her hair done.
getting your hair done is important to a lady, let me tell you.
Next is the volunteer program. I just put in there a list of some of the things they've been doing. We've been getting a lot more requests for volunteers, and I've actually been getting a lot of more like college-aged kids needing to do community service in the community. So I've been trying just to give them a bunch of opportunities in the community where they could do their time.
So you're not short on volunteers, are you short on volunteer work?
Lots of times it's volunteer work, yes, and getting the right volunteer for that volunteer work.
The Corn Palace has reached out for these upcoming events like the Hanson Classic. They reached out to us and Yep.
Volunteers there.
And the reason I ask, I'm on the James Valley.
Yep.
You have over team, we have participants who have to do community service as a part of their treatment or sanctions, and so getting community service work out there, you need volunteers for it, you know.
Okay.
Find some volunteers.
Will do. I just did another one this morning with a EW student.
Cole was just saying that he has the James Valley Drug Court, people that need volunteer hours. So if we need more volunteers, he's willing to help us find some more volunteers.
Those are for juveniles?
Nope, these are adults.
Okay.
James Valley Drug and DUI Court, yep, for felony drug or DUI convictions, kind of like a second chance to, and rather than going to prison, it's a second chance to deal with their substance use disorder.
Okay, and then the James Valley Community Center. Good news is we hired a part-time janitor. His name is Brody, and he puts in about 8 to 10 hours a week. He came through Career Connections. He did a test run through Career Connections. He does a wonderful job. That we hired him as our part-time staff. We're happy to have him. He does nice work. Kim also put together her activities report. We had our big after the holidays party, and we gave away a quilt. We had, she said, 52 people registered, so it was a nice, fun day. It was nice seeing everybody there. It almost felt like normal again, having all the people there participating. Dale's the one that won the quilt, and we did a 50-50 drawing while we were there, while they had that. They did a holiday bus tour. Unfortunately, the bus broke down on the way to Chamberlain, but they got another bus coming, and they got it fixed, and we received a $50 credit on our invoice for our next bus trip. She does have a bus trip coming up sometime in, I believe, March. Does that sound right, Amy? I think it's March. And then bingo's been back and popular again, busy. Now that the weather's getting better, but today's a little chillier. Yeah, she's just been busy.
Is she new?
Kim worked with us before COVID and then left during COVID and then came back. She's been around for about a year now.
Yep.
We did. Voted on, asset management maintenance plan? Okay, Christy, we didn't vote on the asset maintenance plan.
Okay,
We need to have that approved.
okay. Get a motion for that? We discussed previously?
That was number 4 that we discussed.
I'll make a motion to approve the plan.
I'll second it.
I didn't have my mic on.
So we have Al made the motion and Jan seconded the motion.
Okay, okay, sounds good. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Next will be the scheduling of the next meeting. It'll be the same day next month, right?
Oh, yeah, it would be, wouldn't it?
And is it okay if we continue with every other month? Does that seem to work okay for everyone?
Yeah.
So we'll wait for March 9th.
No, then if we do every other month, it'd be.
Oh, sorry, April, I meant. April 13.
Do you have anything else, Deb?
Thank you all for joining.
Okay. And we'll adjourn the meeting then. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.